Greetings and salutation. I want you to envision the year 2030 and a headline which begins, "Against all odds, in the island of Nonsuch, the days of homelessness are gone forever, as well as there seems to be no more problems with the issue of plastic waste." What happened was a direct result of people finding solutions to the problems. Now, what happened was, but I digress. Let me go back to the beginning. Greetings again. I am Dr. Claire Nelson, and I am author and storyteller of Smart Futures for a Flourishing World, where I tell stories about the future we want to create. As we celebrate Global Goals Week, a conversation about the Sustainable Development Goals, it is important that we find ways to bring more people, more ordinary people into this conversation. And so I have set myself a personal goal to find a headline story which fascinates me, tie it to a global goal, and share it with you, my friends and colleagues and family, so you understand why this book, Smart Futures for a Flourishing World, was so important to me to share my vision of how we co-create the future we want. Think of it. Wangari Maathai says, "Today we're faced with a challenge that calls for a shift in our thinking. As humanity stops threatening its life support system, we're called to assist the earth to heal her wounds and in the process heal our own. Indeed, to embrace the whole creation in all its diversity, beauty, and wonder, recognizing that sustainable development, democracy, and peace are indivisible as an idea whose time has come." There are 17 goals and 169 targets, but indeed, sustainable development, democracy, and peace are indivisible. Those 17 goals and 169 targets are indivisible. They are indeed a system of systems complex that we have to work on together if we are going to be able to solve the problems and meet the goals, not just of sustainability, but also go beyond that to ensure we have a regenerative economy that assures that future generations in the year 2500, in the year 3000, will have something to say about what we did at this present time. Think about it. SDG 1 asks us to advance a world free of poverty. Poverty? When the Bible says the poor would always be among us, is that really possible? SDG 8 asks us to promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. So clearly, if we make 8, we'll begin to solve 1. But wait, not so fast. There's Sustainable Development Goal 10, the thorniest canoodle of all, inequality. It calls for reducing inequality within and among countries and to ensure that we have no discrimination based on age, sex, disability, race, ethnicity, origin, or religion. So you see, how can we achieve 1 without 8 or 10? My friends, as we think about the future and the next 9 days, as I bring to you my stories from the future, I want you to think about the words of Muhammad Yunus. Once poverty is gone, we'll need to build museums to display its horrors for future generations. They wonder why poverty continued so long in human society and how a few people could live in luxury while billions dwelt in misery, deprivation, and despair. How can we build museums to the future? Well, let me end the story I began with. How did they end homelessness? You see, they learned from one company called Ecodom that learned how to take waste plastic and make bricks to build homes. Ecodom is one seed of hope that we must bring to more people so that all of our islands, all of our nations that are wallowing in the stench of waste plastic can use this waste to create homes that are livable and take people out of their misery, deprivation, and despair. Thank you so much for listening. That was Smart Futures in 5. And tomorrow I continue with another story and another seed of hope. Until tomorrow, walk good, Ubuntu.